Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years. Now, with a special welcome, the head pastor of the Center for Creative Living, Reverend Doti Boon.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Creative Living. We're so glad you decided to join us. For any of you, if this is your first time to what we lovingly call CCL, thank you so much for being here. One of the things about our church that is so unique and unusual is the fact that we represent love, kindness, and acceptance to people of all faiths, all genders, all countries. In other words, we believe that all of you are children of God, and we would like to have you come join us on Sunday, virtually like you are now, or later on at our center in San Jose. This is a day that we're getting ready to observe Memorial Day. Now, Memorial Day is in recognition of those who were in the military and gave our life, but also those that are in the military now. I know for myself, I have had a great-grandfather who was a drummer boy in the Civil War. I've also had a grandfather who was in the Spanish-American War, a wonderful dad who was in World War II, and brothers, Glenn, Dell, and also Tim, who were in the Air Force, and his sister Eva. So we have a lot of beings in our family who have been in the service. But right now I'd like to honor members of the Center for Creative Living who have been in the service, in the military. And we have Reverend Corey Gott, we have Reverend Ronnie Grigsby, Reverend James Marty Pettix, and also Reverend Keith Smith, Minister Deborah Winnett, and Michael Zeke Zehner. And these are people that I'm familiar with that have been in the military. And if you've been in the military or have somebody in your family, please take a moment to put your prayers and loving thoughts out towards them. Now let's all take a nice deep breath and listen to our wonderful Reverend Dr. Ayleen Augustine as she leads us in a welcoming prayer.
Beloved and wonderful Creator, we thank you for the blessing of this day, and we thank you for the blessing of our lives. We thank you for the gift of each and every moment and each and every breath. And through these very difficult and challenging times, we thank you for being with us. We thank you for nurturing and loving each of us as if we are your favorite child. We thank you for all those who are working so hard to help move us through this crisis, whether they be first responders, essential service providers, medical staff, or the scientists who are working to find a vaccine. Creator, we ask that you bless them and their loved ones with safety and strength and the motivation to continue their work and the inspiration to find the answers that they're seeking. Creator, on this day, we ask a special blessing for all of those who are serving in the armed services, for all of those who have served, and especially for all of those who served and have passed and are now with you. Creator, may each and every one of them know that they are remembered and loved. And may each person who is choosing to serve in that very special capacity, may they each be strengthened and blessed, and that they may come home safely to those who love them. Creator, we send a special prayer of love and support to all those who wait for those who serve. and for all of those whose loved ones did not come home. Creator, may the memory of those loving spirits be gentle and bring to their hearts warmth and joy. Creator, for those who are grieving, please, may our love comfort them and surround them as they work through those processes. And for those who did not come home, Creator, may they know that they have never been forgotten. Creator, thank you for all that you give and all that you are. And whatever it means to you, we hope you have a wonderful day. For all your creation to the next 7 generations and beyond, aho matako esing, ago, 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 by earth, sea, and sky. Namaste, shalom, assalamu alaikum, blessed be, amen.
Good morning, everyone at CCL. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I would just like to share a song I wrote recently. Even though we are physically distant, our hearts should unite together. So let a moment spark inspiration. Let this song fill you with wonder, and let the spirit flow. Spirit is in each eye, full of love for you. Keep on praying, keep on leaving.
And now I would like to just take a moment for each one of you to honor in your heart and in your mind the military who fought for our country and fought for our freedom. Close your eyes. For some of you, that might be members of your family. For others, it could be people that you admired that were on the movies or on the stage. Whoever these folks are that you can think of that served in the military, just honor them today and tomorrow. How many of you know how Memorial Day started? It was very interesting because it started right after the Second World War. Many of the Union soldiers had been thrown into mass graves in the South. And there was a bunch of freedmen. The word freedmen means black slaves who had been freed by this war. And they got together with their wives and their children and their pastors, and they took a day where they laid to rest all the various Union soldiers. And as they did that, they sang, they talked about the war, and they appreciated that these men, although the majority of them were white men from the north had been there to fight for their cause. Think about that for a moment. How many of us are truly fighting for our cause right now? And that when all of this is over with, are ready to be a part of the observation of the people that we had been disagreeing with earlier. Now, the original purpose of this was to do that once. But when people in the North heard about what was going on, they wanted to join in. And they started immediately, it seemed. The next year, there were 21 areas that were celebrating what they called Reconciliation Day. Isn't that nice? We're going to reconcile this. And then the next year after that, there were over 200 places, cemeteries that opened up their graves to bring up some of the soldiers who have died. And Reconciliation Day was something that started spreading. It touched the heart of the people of the United States. And in reading about it, it touched my heart. When I saw what was going on, instead of wallowing in the grief and the anger and the frustration, they were honoring those people who had been there to fight for them. So by 1868, this had gone into 27 different states and had spread to over 330 cemeteries. And the northern states that adopted this called it Decoration Day. And it was called Decoration Day for quite a few years. The people who sponsored these ceremonies were members of the Women's Relief Corps. That kind of sounds like what women do after war. They help clean up, and that's what was going on. And the remains of almost 300,000 Union dead were put into national ceremonies located near the battlefields. Now, as you know, most of the battlefields were in the South because that's where the war was being fought. And so like Arlington, Gettysburg. Well, after World War I, when this celebration or observance of what had gone on had spread all through the United States, the Congress changed the name to Memorial Day. Not just remembering those that had died, but honoring those who had fought the war. So when we're honoring and observing tomorrow, Monday, it's not just the people who gave their lives and fought, but it's also the people who were helping and fighting and being at home and supporting what was going on. And at first, a lot of people got together to talk about where are we going, what are we doing, and then it became more of a religious celebration or observance because ministers gathered at their churches to talk about it. And it helped people make sense of what had gone on and the fact that it wasn't a different side that God was on, just that God was there. That God is in battlefields as much as God is in our household. So this celebration or observance is about where God stands. And God stands for each one of us, as we know. So today and tomorrow, think of giving thanks to all the soldiers, all of the people who have been here for us and worked with us. Think about what was going on. And I want to honor you with all of the things you can do. And one of them is to have a flag. Did you know that Memorial Day has its own flag? What do I want to call it? rule. Yeah, rule on what to do with the American flag. From sunrise to noon, it is at half staff. And after 12 o'clock noon, it's raised back up to full staff. This is unique for Memorial Day. It's not done that at any other celebration or observance. What it does is it honors those who have died during the war. And then from noon on, it's raised up to celebrate those who are fighting to protect our country. So it's so meaningful to honor tomorrow. Whether you have a flag that you can put out, or whether you go to a cemetery and visit some of your dead, or whether you stay home and just put it in your prayers. One of the wonderful things I read was said by Abraham Lincoln, and this was the closing of his first inaugural address. "We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection. The mystic cords of memory, stretching from every battlefield and patriot grave to living every heart and heartstone all over this," I'm having my helper turn the page, "all over this broad land, will yet swell the chorus of the Union, when again touched, as surely they will be, by the better angels of our nature." When we will be touched by the better angels of our nature. So there is so many things that we think about when we think about war and we think about fighting. But quite often we stop short of bringing our energy and our connection to God into this place. In the in the Hindu faith, in the Upanishads, they have a saying that says, "Lead us from unreality to reality. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to life." One of my favorite prayers at this time is an Islamic prayer that says, "Praise be to the Lord of the universe, who has created us and made us into tribes and nations, that we may know each other, not that we may despise each other, and trust God. For God is the one that hears and knows all things. And most gracious are the servants of God, who walk on the earth in humility. When we address them, we should say peace." When you meet the servants of God and address them, say peace. Isn't that beautiful? And from the Hebrew Book of Wisdom, "The souls of the just are in the hand of God, and no torment shall touch them. They seemed in the view of the foolish to be dead, and their passing away was thought an affliction, and their going forth from us utter destruction, but they are in peace." When you read these and when you feel them, the word peace is so much a part of our relationships with God. Think about what peace means to you. How are you holding peace in your heart? Are you starting out each day watching the news and getting angry? Why not start out the morning saying a prayer or thinking of peace? When you get ready to go to bed at night, is the last thing you do is watch the news and get angry about who said what? Instead, as you prepare for bed, put peace in your heart. It's one of those things that sounds very difficult, but it's not. Changing all the hatred, angry, frustration into peace is one of those things that each one of us can do. And as I mentioned last week and the week before, worry causes more problems in our life than disease, than war. It causes us to break down our immune system. But mostly, anger and frustration and hatred puts a big barrier between us and our God. Think peace. Think love. And thank God for being with each and every one of us. And I'd like to close with a saying that I read from the New Testament. And it says, "Greater love has no one better than this, that one day lay down his life for his friends." Think of that. Laying down your life doesn't mean laying down your mortal soul. Laying down your life means letting go of the anger and the frustration and bringing peace into your life. Namaste.
The heart returns to the land it never forgot. The soul remains steadfast in the ocean of its life. The body recalls every vision, every thought. The tree of belonging roots in the center of our sight. We remember it all. We remember the rise and fall. We remember every breath. We remember every step. We remember every step. All the actions and all the beings, the call to our compassion and what it really means. When the truth isn't always what it seems. Where are heroes? Shine in our deepest dreams. Shine in our deepest dreams. We remember it all. We remember the rise and fall. We remember every step. We remember every step. So, my friends, it is time to remember and to honor all those who have shown us the kindness and the courage, their strength, their sacrifice, and their love fills our life with hope. They are our heroes. And every moment that we remember, we activate that energy of healing and hope. And we are also heroes, my friends. In every way that we show the courage of our heart to be vulnerable, to give, to be honest, and to live as fully as we can. So as we remember all those before us who are braiding us that hope and that healing, know that you too are also a hero. And your gift is the gift of you. We remember it all. We remember the rise and fall. We remember every breath. We remember every step. We remember every step. We remember you. We honor you. We open our heart to you. We remember you. We remember it all. We remember the rise and fall. We remember every breath. We remember every step. We remember every step. We honor you. Ooh, we remember you. We remember you.
Thank you for joining us for this celebration of faith and fellowship. We'll be back next Sunday. And for those of you, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can leave them in the comments section. If you appreciate this video and the work that the Center for Creative Living is doing, please press like on the video. You can share the video, and also please subscribe, because that will help this community and the church grow. Remember, in these difficult and challenging times, the opportunity to give and support an organization that has done so much for the community is tremendously important. Please help the Center for Creative Living continue in the wonderful work that it does. We will make it through this. We will be stronger for it. Our faith will carry us. Be blessed, be safe, and have a wonderful week.